Hello guys, and welcome back to another one of these. Well, everybody, welcome back. I'm your host, Mike here for another vlog. Here on the 15th of January 2018. Yes, it is the 15th day of January, Martin Luther King Day. Of course, to celebrate the life of Martin Luther King, who had the famous "I Am a Dream" speech, and of course, the path to equality, which we're still trying to fight for today. Trying to fight for today as well, because race is a never-ending battle. A lot of people want it to end, but we'll get there one of these days. I'm pretty sure of it. He's kind of wish a day where he's kind of the guy that got everything sparked. Where we're kind of like. But I do believe one of these days that his word will continue and his word will go on. Because for those of you wondering, I don't care what color you are. As long as I don't care what color you are, I accept you for who you are. I do not care if you're Asian, black, Chinese, Japanese, African, anything, any other color other than white, I accept. Because I feel for other people and I help out other people. So, kind of one of the lessons we learned in school was not to discriminate and, help everybody else and not judge. Because everybody has their own things, because we know different. Because we know different races provide us with different things. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge that, but I do. Because I'm just open-minded. With all my social welfare training and classes over the years. So, Martin Luther King, hats off to you, Rosa Parks, and everybody else who spurred that on. And still fighting to this day. Hopefully we can come up with it. It's not going to be an easy fight, as usual. But yeah, Martin Luther King, as you guys all know, got shut down by the famous gunman during that fateful day back in the late 60s. And had it not been for that, had he lived a little longer, things would have changed, I guess. But sadly, he was very young and he lost his life at a moment when kind of needed change in this country. Kind of in a social, kind of a hurricane of social uprising. We had the Vietnam War. Johnson wasn't doing so well in office. He was kind of losing his approval in office. And that's just sort of thing. But I just kind of want to tell you guys that I feel it's a crime that that we should be celebrating just not one day of one guy. And I know we do have that 1 month this year. The awareness of African Americans, their culture. That should be, I'm just going to say this right now, that should be cherished throughout the year and throughout the rest of the time. We just shouldn't set aside, one month. It should be the awareness should be out every single month, 365 days a year, every year until the end of time. Until we get this thing freaking done, because honestly, it's absurd. We have days for Washington, but we have birthdays for Washington, obviously, and everything else. But I think that should be a thing, because it's a significant part of history. And to be honest, I don't really see the point of judging somebody or hurting somebody because they look different. The reason why I say this, guys, is because when I was a kid, I think this is just me, my upbringing as somebody with a nonverbal learning difference. Yeah, I have one of those. I really don't mind being different. I don't know why people, I don't know what it is, but I don't know why people feel the obligation to discriminate, laugh, joke about something because there's certain jokes that people can get away with me, just not a heck of a lot. Like I know they're joking, but some of them cut deep, and we have to draw a line there. Now I can't be sensitive, super sensitive over 24/7. That would be absurd. The reason why that is because I embrace that I'm different, and I wish other human beings around the world would kind of embrace that as well, because there's one thing that I've learned. I've embraced to be different, so I kind of wish that would go to everybody else. That's what I kind of wanted to talk today. I kind of didn't have a topic for today, but I kind of figured it out. I told you guys I'd come up with a long one. I just wish one of these days we'd all smarten up and just like, you know what? They're all different. We're all different. We all have our we all have our differences. We all have our flaws. We have different. Coming from a psychologist, you just hear me out on this. We have different personalities. We have different emotional sets. We have different beliefs and everything else, and people respect those. So, well, I shouldn't quite say that, but if we have a different personality, if somebody's conservative like me, quiet because I like being quiet. I like to open my mouth when I need to. And somebody who's outspoken, somebody who's speaks a lot but doesn't get hurt, because there's a ton of people out there that happens to, and those are the African American people, and all the other cultures that have to deal with all this racial crap, because it's not fair to them because we fought to, the idea is, the reason why this is keeps on going, because the argument is, there's a bunch of arguments, the American people, we kind of fought for our freedom. So the African Americans are like, oh, why can't we? You should be able to. I'm just perplexed, You'd think this country would evolve, but it hasn't. And I don't think it's going to do any evolving anytime soon, because we have the orange idiot, aka Trump in office. That's what a couple of people at work call him. The orange idiot, as they call him. Because a lot of people are like, oh, we're heading into dark times, and I think we are, because I think we have to be sensitive, but we also have to be sensitive to other people, but we also have to be accepting of other people, and everything else. I mean, there's about a million other things. I'll get into that another day, but, it's just on one day that it kind of disturbs me that we celebrate his life one day. He was kind of important. The old "I have a dream, I have a dream, I have a dream" speech. It's kind of a speech that kind of resonates in history and will be forever be part of history. Me being sort of a history guy, I think it's important that we kind of teach everybody that and I'm from the class of people that hate is learned, of course, because, and it's sort of seen. So if younger folks see other people hating another group, obviously that's going to be happening. But I think at a certain point, guys, that it can actually be changed. Like, it can be unlearned, or just be changed. Like, people can have a change in opinion. I know tons of people who are African American, Chinese, Japanese. So, and I work with different cultures at work. I work with people from South Africa. I work with people from Africa, Jamaica, China, Haiti, you know, and South African, one of our managers. It was, I've kind of learned over time to kind of embrace difference. And I don't care what anybody says. Just because somebody acts a certain way, somebody of color, doesn't mean you can say whatever you want from them and call them whatever racial slur you want to feel. I don't believe in that. Just want to get that right out of the way. I don't believe in all that stuff. It's not really necessary. I've already probably tackled this in my first 4 blogs, I think. I think it was that. It was that church shooting back in 2015. I think 3 years ago. Well, 2.5 years ago. Now that I'm counting it. And I hope that one of these days, Dr. King's vision becomes a reality. But it's gonna take some time. But I think we can do it. Because there's going to become a time where we have to drop all differences and we have to work together. I feel that's going to happen. We may joke about it from time to time, but you got to know when the jokes are good and when the jokes are bad. So some jokes you can get away with your friends of different races, but they can you sort of learn over time, what's it, because you sort of learn from them, and that's technically what we should be doing. We should learn what jokes are not so great and what jokes are great, and if we can play around. But usually, me being conservative, I try to stay away from that because I just don't feel it's right. It's just my personal belief. I think there's a song, I think years ago, I think that I think in history, I'm not being a hypocrite. I think in history that there's always been a dislike or a certain grudge against a certain group. So there's a song, I forget the name of it, and I forget who it's by, but I think there was a song, Kitty song, one of those derpy little old songs. Everybody is a little bit racist. Do not ask me who it's by or what it's by, but they kind of describe kind of the obvious because, certain points in history, there was hate towards certain groups between two factions, Race has been around since the start of time, obviously, because there's different groups that have been around, obviously different clans back in the day. It's been around a long time, and I get into it, but but I was in a class one time and I learned that it was intelligence based, I think, but I'll get into that another time, and which I think is a wrong thing, which I will tell you right off the bat is wrong. You should never judge a book by its color. Just because somebody's different doesn't mean you should judge them and say, oh, this person's this person's that. Everybody has the potential, and that's what I believe in. Everybody has the potential to do good, and everybody has the potential to succeed in their own way, and do very well, because there's people, because it's kind of hypocritical. People say, oh, this race doesn't do this, and there's people from different races that have succeeded very well in doing certain things, inventing certain inventions, and all that sort of thing. So my message to everybody out there is, I think now that it is the 21st friggin' century, people, let me just put it out there. Let's learn to be a little bit more tolerant of people and kind of learn other cultures, because I don't know how. Some people will learn, some people won't, but I think we should learn to just be a little bit more tolerant of other people and not judge them, unless there's something that doesn't stick right, then that's another story. But if people just seem ordinary like you and me. Let's learn to embrace them. Let's not learn to push them away because of something. We may push friends away for a little while because we're not seeing eye to eye with them. That's a mechanic. Maybe we just lose friendships. Friendships fall out. But we should learn to be a little bit more tolerant of people that are different. Just because somebody doesn't think like we do, doesn't say things like we do. Somebody talks funny. Somebody looks different. Somebody's color is different. We shouldn't judge them. We should always give them the benefit of the doubt, because we never know what those people are good at. I know some people that are African American that are intelligent. They're smart. They're geniuses. They really know what they're doing. They've got serious work ethic like everybody else. I kind of hate that whole welfare, that living off welfare thing. It's a bunch of bull crap. Hate to break it to you, middle white America, but we're kind of part of the problem, part of that epidemic, so we kind of caused it. But anyway, but yeah, everybody, just a message. Let's be a little bit more tolerant, and let's make 2018 a little bit better in terms of racism, because I think we can do that. Forget Trump. Let's not focus on him. Let him do his thing. Let him blow up. Let him blow up spectacularly. I know Trump lovers are going to hate me on that one. But, let's be a little bit more tolerant. Let's kind of be a little bit more open to things. It is the 21st century. It's 2018. Let's kind of strive to be a little bit better people. And I know we can. And I know we can end racism. Because we can. I think Dr. King would kind of approve of that, because that was his vision and everybody else's vision back in the 1950s and 60s. Alrighty, buddy. Alright. Told you guys this was going to be a long one. Alright, enough about that. I kind of wanted to get that out of the way. I see what I did there. Kind of got the big topic out of the way first. Because I kind of wanted to, yeah, guys, so let's make 2018 beyond more tolerant racially. Let's do it. I think we can do it. I think it's doable. And I think people who say we can't are missing a big train. Alrighty, guys. Enough about that. So, yeah. Let's let Dr. King's words live on. Let's not bury them, because they were important. I just thought I'd do a moment of silence, because I, just figured it'd kind of be good to do that, in honor of Dr. King, because, he tried to provide the gospel to start social change. Not that I'm preaching or anything, but, alright guys, enough about that. Salute to Dr. King and his legacy, because it is Martin Luther King Day. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to be this one to do. As usual, everybody, long live America, God bless America, long live democracy, long live the Second Amendment. It meant to my grandparents, parents, meant to both of them. And long live, and let's nurture racial equality in this country in the next couple of years and years to come. Alrighty, guys. Mike Mo here. We're on the 18th of January, 2018. Sign off for today, guys.